Rambling can either mean to go for a nice little walk, or it can mean to talk absolute rubbish. This podcast is both. Join me as I walk around the towns and cities and highways and byways and canals and rivers and hills and fields and forests of the northwest of England and further afield, all the while giving you rambling talk. Okay, so more than anything, this is just a sound quality test, I suppose you would call it. So it's Sunday, the 7th of February 2021, and just trying this out really. So taking the dog for a little walk in the evening, as is generally required for the dog, so she can do her poo, so she doesn't poo on the floor in the house. Not that she's done that for a long time anyway, but you know, she pees every once in a blue moon on the carpet. But basically all this is I found my lapel mic, which I thought I'd lost, and the other day when I was out, you know, hiking, if you want to call it that, it was a semi-hike, semi-urban, semi-rural kind of walk around, you know, down the canal and up some small hills. I just thought, you know, I like walking. It's one of the things that I do more than anything. Even before lockdown, I fucking walked loads. But, you know, during lockdown, we've not always got someone to talk to get things off your chest. And, well, I suppose you could just walk around talking to yourself and not recording it. But, you know, that would be fucking crazy. That would be mental, wouldn't it? So, I thought I'd see what the sound quality was like whilst I'm just kind of walking about, you know, with the dog, or not with the dog, as the case may be. And, you know, just kind of whittering on, commenting on anything interesting that I may see and anything interesting that may come to mind. And, well, that's just it really. You know, the dog's peeing, by the way, which is good. It's good that the dog is peeing. It means I don't have to shake him back the rug again. Ooh, wood. See, I'm on the lookout for plasterboard really, because, well, the other week I was hanging up a painting, or, well, I hung up a painting because, you know, I thought I needed something to do, really. I was bored as fucking sin, because obviously I'm on furlough. So, I said to Steph, do you want these pictures hanging? She went, yeah, please do, put one on that wall, one on that wall. So, you know, I hammered one on one wall and hammered one on the opposing wall, and we have on Steph's phone Steph's my wife, by the way, I should say. I had on Steph's phone, or she has, what's called a stud finder, which basically searches for metal in the wall so you don't fucking hit through a pipe. But, as is always the way, like a knobhead, I think, nah, I don't need that. Fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? Just hang it up. I hung it up and all was well and good. Until the morning came and you start hearing a high-pitched, almost squealing, sort of swooshing sound. And it turns out I did hit a bloody pipe after all. So yeah, we have water pissing out through the wall. We were able to get out a plumber that day. We did have to, you know, gouge a hole in the wall. So there's now a big fucking hole in the wall. So really, I just need a piece of plasterboard, ideally, so I can bodge job the fucking thing up, which I'm not going to be able to do on my own because I'm not that way inclined, but, you know, Steph's dad said he'll help me. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of looking out for bits and bobs that I might see in floors or skips, or I'm always looking for interesting things that I may see. I think there's a couple of skips actually just down the road here, so yeah, I'm going to have a little look and see if I can find a skip and find anything interesting in it that I might be able to do up to fix my house for free. Okay, so there is a skip basically just on the road right next to my house, but it's right in front of a big bay window, which is their living room where they're sat watching the telly. So don't really want to skip dive directly in front, you know, directly in front of somebody's house. I had a little quick visual scan, but there was nothing much in there really other than carpets, and don't really need any carpets, and don't know whether I would have second-hand carpets in the time of COVID anyway. Oh, hang on, there's another skip just next door to that. There's no big bay window in front, but there is a car. Yeah, by the way, it's lights up. Right, it's just a shitty old sofa and loads of insulation. Don't need that. Don't need that. Is skip diving frowned upon? Like, maybe directly in front of people's houses it is frowned upon, but like my granddad, for example, he was always the kind of person who would go to a tip, you know, to drop off whatever shit we were getting rid of, but we'd always come back with, oh, I saw this really good chair, or this really good walking stick, or, you know, he was basically a womble. And I think I kind of have a bit of that in me. Like, I don't like to throw away anything fucking useful. I think it's a good attitude to have. It's recycling, basically, isn't it? It's the way skimp motherfuckers actually get by. Yeah. Why not be a womble? Recycling begins at home, or at other people's homes, outside their homes, in a skip, if you like. My left hip is starting to bloody ache, you know. I mean, I don't know whether that's normal for people at the age that I'm at, you know, 35, not far off 36 really, but doing a shitload of walking recently, like, well, what I think is a shitload anyway. Like, the other day I probably walked a good 20 mile. Yesterday I walked 10. I think today I've probably walked roughly 10ish, maybe just under. My left hip is starting to fucking hurt. Like, it'll be alright in the morning, but like it never used to do that. Like, I don't know whether that's just normal, that's something I'm gonna have to deal with from now on if I'm walking a lot. Or whether it'll go away if I stretch regularly, or do yoga, or start taking fish oil. I mean, I suppose if I start fucking looking after myself, properly looking after myself, like, I won't get these pains, but it's just kind of really actually admitting to myself that, you know, my body is getting older and worn out, and if I want to live a long, fruitful life, I have to fucking look after it, which means not just living for pleasure. Which is sad, really, but fucking, I suppose I actually have to, you know, face reality eventually, which nobody likes to do, but I am starting to realise that I have to eventually do, is, you know, face reality. Why do I have to face reality? Facing reality fucking sucks. But, you know, living in a fantasy land is good as well. It keeps you young on a mental level. I think, living in a little fantasy land like I do. I have a very vivid imagination, which I think is good. I think having a vivid imagination is good. But it really is surfing that line between being a realist and having a vivid imagination. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, nothing more to say on that one, to be perfectly honest. Guess I'm just sad that I'm not a child anymore, really. You know, I'm no historian. And I know fucking nothing about the history of viaducts. Come on, Dad. I know nothing about the history of viaducts, but I know that the Stockport Viaduct looks cool as fuck to me. I like the way they put all the, the lights. They've been on it for a good while now. But just walking down from the park to the viaduct, I think looks really cool, really illuminated. I'm fairly certain it's one of the biggest viaducts in Europe. Yeah, it's pretty groovy looking, very Victorian looking. I'm not too sure what year it was built. I'm sure I've read it before, but if I had to guess, I think it was opened in the late 1800s, 1870s, 1880s, something like that, I think. And yeah, man, it looks sick, but maybe I am biased, being from this town, born and bred, but yeah, man, viaducts fucking rule. This town's coming like a ghost town. All the pubs have been closed down. That's probably the way it's going to be around here. When the pubs reopen, if they're able to reopen. Like, I wonder whether many of the, sort of pubs that just rely on regulars, are actually going to be able to survive. Old school pubs, A lot of the other, more modern pubs do other things, but are there too many pubs in the UK? I mean, I would say no. Some people would argue that, those buildings could be used for other purposes, but look, man, British people like to drink, there's no denying it. You can't deny it. And can you drink responsibly? Yes, you can. Do a lot of people not drink responsibly? No, they don't. Or yes, they don't, whichever is accurate. But there's no denying that a lot of people's livelihoods are at stake currently. Thankfully, I work in the pub industry myself, just as a lowly shit muncher, as it were, but for a big company, so at least furlough's going to continue for me, but after a certain period, maybe it fucking won't. Who knows? Who knows? But, I am missing being with people, socialising with people in a pub, talking to strangers. I like talking to strangers. I've made friends meeting strangers before. Is that ever going to be something you can ever do again? Responsibly. Or would you be looked at as a, an outcast or renegade if you go talking to people? People would look at you as you're some kind of leper. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay, so we're right near home now, and she's not pooed yet. She has peed several times, so that was more the worry. She doesn't pee very often in the house. She does every now and again, but she hasn't pooed on the fucking floor in the house for a good while, so we're not that worried about that. She had plenty of chance. She only poos and wees on grass or organic matter, my dog. But she's pretty much had all the chances she's going to have at this late on a Sunday. So I'm going to go home now. Like I said, more than anything, this was just a sound quality test. Just to see what the old lapel mic sounds like. Walking around, you know, make sure we don't pick up too much wind. See if the footsteps are too loud. Yeah, that's it. This could potentially be a podcast. And if not, just a fucking bit of therapy for me to get my thoughts out of my brain and into somewhere. But yeah, bucket. Gonna sign off. You know, I'm a nobody, but I like to say what I feel, just so I don't kill everyone, or maybe myself, more likely everyone else. See you later, fuckers.